We've covered cloud security testing on the system side. Now let's review cloud security testing on the application side. What is cloud application security? Cloud application security is security testing the controls that protect applications and application data in shared resource environments, the cloud. What is the purpose of testing cloud application security? The purpose is to protect application code, users, user credentials, and data from theft or unauthorized exposure. The second purpose is to ensure the business and its customers are not impacted by a data breach or other data loss or unauthorized access. What does cloud application security testing involve? It involves testing application security. This includes data transfers, authentication and access, access permissions, source code access, editing, and deployment, and the security of the code base or coding structure. What is the test strategy? You will create a test strategy based on the scope of security testing using an application's user interface and back-end processing systems. These include new data, existing data, API data handling, application access permissions by user role, and application authentication. This includes MFA, multi-factor authentication, and URL hacking to bypass logins. Test strategies define and manage the test development and execution. Additionally, they provide insight into risks and decisions made on testing coverage, access, and test results. What are the basics of the test strategy? One basic is to create a separate security testing environment, enabling cloud system monitoring and alerts if available. Another is used to test functional application-side security testing and application-side penetration testing. What are the testing techniques? Application-side security testing uses black box testing to attempt to manipulate API data handling, gain unauthorized access to an application to enter, view, and save data, and confirms user role access permissions cannot be altered to access additional data or application administration controls. What are common security gaps? The most common sources of security gaps or defects in cloud application security include authentication and access management configuration errors. This can be misconfigured user permissions and weak credentials. Another security gap is skipping multi-factored authentication, MFAs. There are also insecure coding practices, SQL injection, XSS, cross-site scripting, CSRF, cross-site request forgery, and insecure APIs, improper access controls. Let's talk about application penetration testing technique. There is black box testing, used to simulate brute force attacks. It can also simulate a hacker's attempting to gain access to an application as a valid user and looking for system credentials, unsecured APIs, and accessible data. Unlike cloud security testing on the system side, the majority of application security testing occurs using black box testing techniques. Testing simulates an unauthorized user attempting to gain access to an application, its data, and connectivity information. What are some different penetration test types? First, there's social engineering. This is accessing user login credentials from development support or administrator access. API security is accessing data during transfers or via browser tools. Denial of service attack. This is loading the application with automated requests that hang the application. Here are some more penetration test types. Web or mobile application tests, accessing user login credentials or data. Client-side tests. This searches for vulnerabilities in data sharing or user account access. URL hacking and SQLi in name or other editable data fields. What are some security challenges for cloud applications? Access. There will need to be collaboration between the cloud service provider and the application security testers for access to data. Time. Additional test execution time with either internal or external testing and resources. Assigning development and administrative resource time to work with application security testers. We hope you've enjoyed our cloud security testing overview. Visit @sqa.org to find additional education opportunities and professional certifications. www.atsqa.org